Bureau is focused on how to re-establish growth, how to improve competitiveness. The answer is more Europe.
In these words, Jaime Mayor Oreja, head of the Spanish delegation in the EPP Group, opened the meeting of the Bureau with the Spanish government here in Mallorca. Spain is at the crossroads, and the new government of Mariano Rajoy, which emerged victorious from last November's general election, has implemented urgent and efficient reforms in order to spur the country back to economic growth. The 2008 financial and economic crisis hit the Spanish economy hard, weakened due to 7 years of inconsistent policies of the previous socialist government. Mariano Rajoy, addressing the members of the EPP Group, explained that his government has to act promptly to reverse the trend and lead Spain to economic growth. The task is not an easy one, but the reforms undertaken will pay off in the long run. Luis de Guindos, the Spanish Minister of Economy, pointed out that the initial budgetary adjustments were followed by measures which have already restored confidence in the banking sector. It continued by introducing reforms in the labor market which will increase employment and competitiveness.
This policy will not only restore growth, restore prosperity for the Spanish society, but will be a very important ingredient to make a vital contribution to the future of Europe and to the future of the Eurozone. We are going to be a very European-friendly government in the sense that our policies are going to be in full line with the directives, with the future, and with the policies that we have now started to implement in Europe.
As any structural reform is not always easily accepted by minority groups, corporations and trade unions, the same happens in Spain, but the vast majority backs the government. But what does the future hold? I'm joined now by Senor Méndez de Vigo, Secretary of State for European Affairs in the Spanish government, but who has been serving the European Parliament for almost 20 years. And I would like to ask you, how optimistic are you about the situation? How long do you think it will take to get out of this?
Well, the situation in Spain is difficult. Firstly, because in Europe we are suffering from a crisis, financial, economic crisis. Secondly, because at the same time the heritage we got from the previous government, from the socialist government, is a very poor heritage. But we are working hard. Firstly, we are doing deep reforms. We've done more reforms in 80 days than the previous government in 8 years. Secondly, we have a real stake at the consolidation, at the fiscal consolidation. So we were promoting the fiscal pact at European level, and we have already introduced in our constitution the golden rule on deficit. And thirdly, we are trying to do fiscal austerity with reforms and also with solidarity. We have to take care of these people who are unemployed in Spain.
The conditions of success for Europe to get unsaked out of the crisis can only be found in strengthening the Union and in sticking to its founding values independently of the electoral cost, underlined the chairman of the EPP Group, Joseph Daul.
Et je ne veux pas d'une génération sacrifiée.
I would like to see a new sacrificed generation, a generation which will turn its back on Europe and turn to extremism and populism. We have to do whatever is possible to avoid this, and it is going to be difficult. The parties of our political family will probably lose a few votes during the next elections. However, dear friends, it is not populism which will save our political parties and our values.
Le populisme qui sauvera nos partis et nos valeurs.
The success of this meeting was possible thanks to the Spanish delegation of the EPP Group and particularly of Ms. Rosa Esteras, who represents the island of Mallorca in the European Parliament.
The crisis is very hard in Europe, but in Mallorca too, in Spain. So the tourism is very important to get out of the crisis.
The conclusions of this meeting will be useful and will lead future policies of the EPP Group, the leading political force in the European Parliament. For more information on our policies, please visit our website eppgroup.eu. Thanks for watching and see you again soon.